Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Prison Break. This is the final ever episode of the show. Yes, this is episode 9 of season 5. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click in it, put the password in, and enjoy. As always, as mentioned throughout this whole season, we have been running our most liked to dislike characters of the season, as well as our top 3 favourite characters throughout the whole entire franchise, with the top 3 favourite seasons throughout the whole franchise as well. And we are going to jump into that in today's introduction. We have got lots of votes to go through. I'm excited to see what everybody's opinions are and the characters that you've all loved throughout the whole entirety of the show. If you're not interested in any of that, you just want to jump into the final ever episode and get into the drama, then use the timestamps below and feel free to go there. But if you have voted and you want to see what everybody else has chosen, stick around because we're going to do that right now. So here we are on our most disliked characters of season 5. As I've been saying throughout the whole seasons pretty much, I feel like every season that we've gone forward, the cast members got smaller and smaller and smaller, and this one is no different. Look at it, it's so tiny right now, and that means obviously our choices of disliked characters is limited, and I'm going to have to pick somebody that's obviously caused a little bit of stress, and that is obviously Jacob / Poseidon. He's tried to put Michael away and eliminate him so that he can be just with Sarah himself and take Michael Jr., even though they don't like calling him that, away from them, and you know, he actually has been interested in it. Was a good twist, but in terms of like somebody you have to dislike, considering we've ran this poll from season 1 all the way to season 4 now into season 5, we're going to have to continually do it even though it's only a short 9 episode season. So that's what I'm voting for. Okay, so here we are on our most disliked characters of season 5, and I cannot believe how much Jacob has won by. 94.74% of the vote. Literally that one person gives Sarah a dislike, and without that it would have been a clean wipe of 100% of the vote. I've never seen it this much in somebody's obviously favour. Well, unlucky for him, it's not his favour because everybody seems to dislike him very much. Now, it's interesting that nobody else, even like, I don't know, Whip, Sheba, Cino, Suki, Teabag, Lincoln, Michael, got one themselves, but obviously Jacob has took it, and mate, I have to agree, he got my dislikes. You guys obviously on the same par, and you know, I was going to say, the Patreon, they had it as Jacob and Sarah. Literally nobody takes the bronze medal in today's vote for the most disliked. You know, Sarah can have both of them if she wants. She can have silver and bronze, but Jacob has took the gold spot. Literally, that is the highest I think I've ever seen it. So hopefully we've got more variety going into the most liked characters, because obviously this one's going to be interesting. We haven't got many people to choose from, but it's going to be interesting to see who everybody chooses for season 5's most liked character. So here's the most liked characters of the season. I feel like, again, shortlist, it can only be a couple of people, and I feel like the only 2 people it could actually be would be Michael and Lincoln, if I'm being totally honest. Now, Michael, you know, we was conflicting a little bit, you know, was he this guy, was he not that guy? First episode, he wasn't really in it, was there? And he wasn't really acknowledging that he knew who Lincoln was, and you know, I feel like Lincoln, over just throughout the consistency of the show, has progressively got better, to be honest, and I actually like him in this season as well, and he's willing to put everything on the line to go and get Michael and help him, and it's his brother, and I'm just going to pick Lincoln, you know. Again, it's the same as the other one. I feel like 9 episodes is really short to kind of select it, and even though we've had a 13 episode season when we had, you know, we had Whistler, I just feel like, I don't know, like, not as much was crammed in, and the use of the majority of the characters. I feel like it was just heavily Michael and Lincoln. Jacob / Poseidon was in it a bit, and so was Sarah, and that was it. Everybody else was literally sporadically in it. So it has to be out of them 2, and I'm going to choose Lincoln. And here we are on our most liked characters of season 5. Now, Lincoln has taken a top spot, Michael in 2nd, Teabag in 3rd, C-Note in 4th, with Sheba taking one of the votes in 5th place. Now, this is good, this is interesting, this is where the variety comes. Now, interestingly, you know, if we go to the Patreon, they only had 2 characters in the most liked and 2 characters in the most disliked when we actually had that rock and rolling. It was Jacob and Sarah, that did not move. We've moved over now to the most liked characters, and it's Lincoln and Michael. Again, that did not move, so they took the 2 top spots in the Patreon and the YouTube, but now Teabag has snuck in there. He is the 3rd most liked character of this season, which is interesting. It's good for him, that, you know, it's progression. I've actually really enjoyed him in some of the seasons. I can't remember now if I voted him for a most liked character in one of the seasons. I do think his acting's great, but it's just nice to see that, you know, the love is still there. For a long period of time, people have waited from season 4 to season 5. Not for me. Luckily, doing this, we could just jump straight into it. But it's nice to see that obviously those characters, bang, straight up there as loved as always. So that's really interesting. But talking about as loved as always, we're now going to move in to the most liked seasons throughout the whole show. So 3 votes were allowed for that, as well as the most liked characters throughout the whole franchise, which is going to be interesting because there's lots to choose from, and I cannot wait to see who everybody picks. So here we are. What is the top 3 favourite seasons of the show, from my opinion? Always got to give love to the original season that drawn us in there, and that's got to be season 1, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't have continued to watch 5 seasons if we didn't enjoy that one. Feel like being in the prison, the escape, how clever it was, getting used to all the characters and, you know, the relationships and the stories behind it. That's a great one. Stick it in there. Now, I actually think that Insona was a really good season, but I feel like it was just rushed a little bit, and I understand the reason why, and I'm not taking a pop at the show for that. But that's not, like, I'm not going to select it because of that reason. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if that had a 20-episode season, that could easily be up there as contention for the top 3 seasons. But I'm actually going to go for the second season as well. Thought it was good. I like the characters, a continuation from season 1 and the aftermath of it, and them trying to escape. And then we had the introduction of Alex Mahone, who I think has been a great addition to the show. And I just like the way he was rivaling and, you know, coming up against Michael. Fantastic bit of stuff going on there. So the first 2 seasons, definitely in there. Now it's obviously, if I'm going to eliminate season 3 just because there wasn't loads of it, that means I'm going to have to eliminate season 5 because there's not loads of it, which leaves the next spot, season 4. I thought was actually really good with Scylla as well. I actually like the approach of going after 6 cards instead of breaking out of somewhere. You're breaking into it. It was just different. We used Gretchen a lot as well, who I again think is another great addition to the show. And I'm just going to rock with those 3 seasons. I feel like it could go anyway. I don't feel like it's a bad selection, and I'm interested to see what you guys choose. Okay, so here we are for our top 3 seasons of the entire show. I chose 1, 2, and 4, but I really did enjoy 3 as well, I have to admit. And like I said, I was tossing and turning, but number 1 is stuck in the top spot, you know, 35% of the votes, fantastic stuff. That's one that we all fell in and we all loved, you know, with it. That's one that probably everybody will remember from the show, do you know what I mean? Because that hooked us into it. And the rest obviously followed have been very good, and I'm glad that season 5 has got, even, how many votes? It's got 4 votes, but, you know, a vote's a vote, innit? It's good. That's why the options are there. I'm excited to see obviously the most liked characters, but here, if you go off it, I chose 1, 2, and 4. You guys, the majority, have chosen 1, 3, and 4, which is good. We're very close, you know. I got 2 out of 3. Can't really go wrong with that one. And I'm excited obviously to see who you guys choose for the most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise. This is the top 3 most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise. Who is your favorite? I cannot wait to see. We've got people in there that was in season 1: Michael, Lincoln, Sucre, Veronica, LJ, you know, T-Bag, Cino, Sarah, Killerman, Bellic, Twina, Haywire, Mahomes, Gretchen Whistler, and Self. Now, if I missed anyone, I do apologise, but I feel like these people played enough part in a season or a show to maybe get somebody's vote. Now, I think it's really tough, me, to be honest, because it's like, because Michael's the main character and Lincoln is, like, do you feel like both of them two should be up there in the top slots all of the times? I don't know. That's the beauty of sticking the 3 votes here, because, you know, it gives you a wider selection. You don't have to focus in solely on one person. And I am actually torn. I really am. And the reason why I'm torn is because I actually loved the... I'm going to tip Bellic right now, just to see. I actually loved the progression and the character building of Bellic. I think it was really, really good. From season 1 to where he ended up, fantastic. His acting was great. And, you know, it brought me a lot of happiness / entertainment watching his character. And I was well sad that he died. Another person that I thought was an amazing addition to the show was Mahomes. Again, he's come in, he's played his part as a detective, then he's gone into Sona. His acting's been really good. He was a drug addict, he wanted to take the company down. He ended up being on Michael's side. It was twists and turns. I never really understood what he was going to do, if he was going to, you know, go against him or not. You've got T-Bag, again, consistently decent throughout the show. His acting's great as an individual, as a person himself. Fantastic. He brought a great contribution to it. And if you selected these 3, then the top 2, Michael and Lincoln, who are the main characters, wouldn't be selected. And I'm really conflicted on who to pick. I really, really am. I feel like T-Bag started very strong and then weakened down a little bit and then started to kind of pick up towards the back end of season 4. And then obviously season 5, he just played his role that he was given. It was no problem. You know, he wasn't the T-Bag that was in the first few seasons. But I'm really tough, me, in picking that. I feel like if I just rock with these three, I feel like it's random, and I feel like that's the reason why you get the 3 votes. But I have to acknowledge that I liked Michael, but I think I like Lincoln more than Michael, if that makes sense. You know, if I had to pick one who enjoyed the most, I'll pick Lincoln. Who do I think was clever, and who do I think that the show would have missed more is Michael. Yeah, so like, don't get that twisted. Like, Michael was the main character, and it wouldn't have worked without him in it, and it needed Michael in it. But Michael's just Michael. I feel like Lincoln was just made me laugh a bit more. He was shouting, he's crazy, he loved his fighting, he's gone in there, and I enjoyed Lincoln. You know what I mean? But I don't know, I'm just gonna go with a curveball, me, and just rock with these. I'm just thinking in my head, like, my 3 votes, not gonna really change much, or maybe everybody takes the same approach as me, but who knows? Let's have a look. So I've gone with T-Bag, Bellick, and Mahomes as my top 3. Mate, who would have thought that? I still feel like putting them to him, but I'm going to roll with it. You know, I clicked him speaking. I'm just going to go with it. Because here we are in our most liked characters throughout the whole franchise. 3 votes were allowed, and as you've seen with me selecting mine just a minute ago, you know, I chose that to just pick 3 characters that made me happy in different seasons. I fully expected Michael to potentially win the vote, and maybe Lincoln as well, but looking at this, Lincoln's only got 7%. Maybe everybody's took the same approach as me and thinking, do you know what? Because we got all the votes, you know, everybody's going to choose him anyway. I'm going to pick different characters. But no, you know, he's not in the top 3, clearly. You can see straight away here. I thought Michael was going to win, and currently he is on this page, so that's interesting to see. Let's have a look what the actual results are. Michael, 21%. We've got T-Bag, 18. Bellick had 8, so fair play to him. People like Bellick more than Lincoln, which is interesting. Sucre's got 10%. Let's go down. Mahomes, 30%, with Gretchen with 2. So according to the lovely viewers of this channel, you guys have voted, you've had your say, and if you look at this, Alexander Mahomes is the #1 most liked character throughout the whole franchise. He has taken the gold medal spot, with Michael in 2nd place. He has got the silver, and T-Bag, out of all people, taking the 3rd spot. So that is very interesting. Very, very, very interesting indeed. And I'm actually, you know, happy with it. I would not have expected Alexander Mahomes to take the lead over Michael as the most popular character throughout the franchise. That's just the lovely views of this channel. Obviously, if it was expanded more to thousands of people, that might change. But I'm always going to go with what you guys choose, and you guys have chosen Mahomes, Michael, and T-Bag as the top 3. So that's very interesting. That will always be with me. I'll always remember it. Thank you for voting. And now, obviously, just to remind you guys, so the next show's coming to the channel, we have got Dark. That is the winner of the next show. We've also got the Big Bang Theory, which is also being posted on the Patreon. And now I'm going to show you the one that's potentially coming after Dark, because obviously we've got content going for days, and I'll reveal that right now. Here we are on what should we watch next on the channel. As you're aware, we vote and then we choose, and you guys obviously voted for Prison Break as it won vote 6 here, and we're watching it. It's the finale today. Now this is what's going to be after the next show. Dark did win. I've not put it here yet, but it did win, and we are going to be watching it in German. As we was waiting for you guys to choose that, we started to watch the Big Bang Theory, because that was 2nd at the time. So we currently got 2 of them being posted over on the Patreon. We got Dark and the Big Bang Theory. So if you're following, the next series on the channel here after Prison Break will be Dark, but seeing as it's only a small show, and seeing as it's only 26 episodes, that'll be finished quickly. So this now is going to be a vote for what's going to be watched after Dark. So if you're following and you're understanding, we're going to look down and then give you a heads up right now, and we're going to do it live. And it looks like the current one winning over so far after 1,519 votes is Sense8 with 166 so far. So if you're keeping track of it, after Prison Break, we're going to be watching Dark. And if you're interested in watching the Big Bang Theory, that is going to be on the Patreon, and that will come at YouTube at some point. But once Dark's finished, the next show currently, as per these votes, will be Sense8, which I have no idea what it is, but it can always change because it's always going to be in the description. So if you're interested and you can't wait for it, after Dark, get voting and you can choose and dictate the next show that's coming to the channel. Let's just go back here to the main menu just to say thanks so much for every single person that supported Prison Break onto the channel. This is the final ever episode as of right now. There is murmurs that there's going to be a new season, but we have to take it for what it is, and this is the final ever episode. Thanks for taking part in all the votes. You guys have been absolutely amazing. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into the finale of season 5 of Prison Break. 6 minutes earlier. Gone back in time. Come on, Sarah's under there.
I assure you I'm not the first CIA man to hide his life from his family. What we were doing was advancing this country's cause.
How does freeing a man like Abu Ramal advance this country's cause?
It doesn't. The missions before, they were for the good of the country, but no, this one wasn't about country. It was about you. Nobody wants to die to their old life, Sarah. And Michael didn't. In that moment, I wanted him to go away.
You sent him to Yemen to die. You are using him as bait.
He knows not to hurt him.
You were so obsessed with Michael that you would risk my son! Your ego's too big. You're too busy trying to be the smartest man in the room.
Our love was real, Sarah.
Past tense.
I still love you.
I give you credit. You'll go the whole 9 yards to help one man steal another man's wife. Michael didn't kill Harlan Gaines. He had no motive.
Shut up.
He's the one with the motive. Put him in prison.
See, when stuff like that happens, you know that they're telling the truth. They hit them to quiet them down.
Don't you understand? Jacob killed Harlan Gaines.
Just shut it.
He didn't compose himself convincingly in that situation, did he? So it's Jacob that took him out then. He's the one that's head splatters against the door.
This place is gonna burn down in 10 minutes. There will be 2 bodies in it. Our son won't be one of them.
Yeah, I think that Jacob's killed that guy.
We need to run.
What are you doing up here, Van?
I just want to make sure that we're getting the right guy. Do whatever you want with me. Just let my son go.
Gofield killed Harlan Gaines. We take him to the police if we have to. We get this done the right way.
I told you, we want to disappear. We disappear. I can make that happen.
Alright. I thought someone was shot from the outside trying to come in me. I never expected that happening there. Oh, Sarah's come up clutch there.
They're shooting. I'm scared.
Get in the car. We gotta go now, Mike. We gotta go.
Mike!
Sorry.
My son!
Come back to me.
Where is it? I know that there was bullets, yeah. How many did he hit?
I'll let you down, Michael. You didn't let me down. You couldn't have known.
Okay, you gotta give me some direction here. You know? Some fatherly advice.
Freaking you out like it's freaking me out?
Yeah. Let me,
Schofield said that it would deliver me. Both of us.
By your hand, you shall know the glories of your progeny.
It's progeny.
Lincoln had that one though. Did he not give it him and he rubbed it out?
And our world will be made right forevermore.
The thing is, you know, you'd be gutted that you miss most of the kid's life, but I'd still want to be there. You know, you've got 20, 30 years left.
Ever since you forced me to turn my back on you and Mike.
Tell me you got something.
There's an even bigger code encrypted into the eyes. But with the amount of processing power I
That's
throw
mad.
at it, we're gonna find out real soon.
Gotta dig into it that deep. Every line has some sort of code.
Your mother's dead, but I'm gonna take you somewhere safe, where those people that are trying to hurt you can't reach you.
Poseidon was monitoring my communications with everyone who could possibly be a resource or an ally, but not with people I despise.
Only way we're gonna get that beautiful mundane life you're talking, any of us,
I've got to kill him.
is if I take his.
The thing is, you know, he's had no problem in the past before, but he's a free man now. That's the thing though. You come out and do this and then, again, now you can be put back inside.
You know that fort you've got in the backyard? It feels good to go somewhere like that, right? That's what this place is for me.
Agent Emily Blake, CIA. I'm sorry that had to happen in front of you at the house.
She was stationed at the house to protect you. I've made enemies defending America over the years. Worst part is that this particular one dredged up the memory of your father. Your father died 7 years ago.
The thing is, as a little kid, you probably would believe that, and there's no reason to not.
We were just talking about you.
I'm giving you one last chance to save your life.
Stay away from my dad. You hear? Stay away.
Can't really blame the kid for that though. The guy's no idea who Michael was.
You called him Dad.
Man like that, you're right. He deserves to die.
You get caught. If he gets caught, he's going back to the pen.
Come on. And if I don't
That's what I was gonna say.
I want you free and clear.
Well, I like how he's willing to put his life on the line for his son. He's only just found out.
Location data coming to you right now. Middle of nowhere. Started moving northeast and the phone was shut off.
I'm gonna find out once and for all what you were really doing there, what you were really planning, and then I'm gonna kill you. I know everything about you, even your most mundane actions, like the zoo.
Maybe this guy finds some more info. Enemy making.
I had to know everything about the man who wore his plans on his skin. The secret to real power is to never betray your intentions, to wear nothing on your sleeve, and to never let anyone see your face.
I decrypted the code from the eyes. It's a quote from Napoleon. Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake.
It's what's behind the eyes that counts.
That is some next level stuff. That it actually really is sick. I've got to give him clap for it. I'm not saying it would work, but I've got to say the intention was sick.
Yeah.
I thought you should know I'm looking at your closed servers right now.
However you got in there, bravo. You sent me to the zoo so you could get into my office. But you and I both know your threat's a hollow one, because you know I've got something that's even more valuable to you.
Do we work together, make a trade so we both get what we want? Or are you gonna try something underhanded? Old shipyard, warehouse A.
Old shipyard, warehouse A. Do you reckon that Sucre can be back in it or what?
Brother-in-law, did Lincoln Burroughs, did he get moved?
No, ma'am. He checked himself out.
What happened up in Finger Lakes? Do you know? Another gunshot victim came in from the same area at the same time.
My brother-in-law was alone. It must be a coincidence, but thank you.
Another gunshot victim?
I've done what I can.
So is he not dead?
But candidly, I don't think he's making it till morning.
You had me running there for a bit, thinking I'd done something wrong.
You did. You stiffed me 100 grand.
It's blood money.
Proper throws a slug, doesn't he?
So we're clear.
Those are fake friends again. Son of a bitch.
No, this time they're real.
Mate, he's fuming. 5 million worth of fentanyl in there that is getting seized off him all for 100 grand.
I need to find my boy.
I mean, I know he's in a bad way, but he's gonna not make it to the morning. It doesn't seem like he's that extreme.
Something, some way, I can get my boy back. Please. You sure this is where my son is?
I'd say literally, I don't need to let you die. You are going to die.
Killing ain't right.
Yeah, I read the Bible.
You did?
You know, I scanned it once in a hotel room.
Certain sons of bitches, they just need to be plain old eradicated. World's just better minus them.
Like Abu Ramal.
Destroying the negative to create the positive. The dance of the Shivas and all that. Murder the dark so the light can be born.
You're out of your damn tree, aren't you?
Now you know where you got it from.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like it actually.
Don't just dilly dally. Come on in. You get you out of prison too.
No, but I do owe him.
It's all talent in me, I guess. Said he might call on those talents someday in return, and now here we are. As soon as I put the touches on this, I'm yours. Got bored waiting. Time for a real dance to begin, am I right?
Glad that we're using this guy because they come to his house, didn't they? They turned up, right? Went into his house. He was dressed as Elvis. They looked around, they smiled and like nodded, and then just never seen him again. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what's going on? How are we using it? And that's literally what I was thinking. And I've got to say, right, people who do them games, them little figures with the glasses and the magnifying and they scrub it and they paint it. Oh, mate, have you got the patience for that? Honestly, it's literally, it's like people who build stuff inside them glass bottles as well, and they put like the little tweezers in and they turn. It's like, how? Honestly, like I would say my hand's steady enough to do the paint and to do it, but I haven't got the patience enough. I would flip me. I would end up throwing it all over the place. It's like trying to build something from like IKEA. I can understand the instructions, but like just all the little nitty gritty bits and get all the little tiny oh, I can't do it, man. I hate it. So it's crazy how somebody has that as a job as well. They chose to go and do that, mate. It's mad.
Me that should be thanking you. You brought me all this way. You gave me family. Seriously, thank you.
Let's go.
Well, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Dominic Toretto, mate, you know, in Fast and Furious. He's just
Don't touch that, please.
big and loud.
Now, where's my son?
You ask questions you know there isn't a chance in hell I'm gonna answer. Every law agency in the world is looking for you. Doesn't sound like a position of power to me. I'm holding the cards. Whoa, didn't expect that.
Now that.
It's predictable. Yeah.
How about we drop it, lady?
You don't think I expected this? We could do this all day.
Oh, quick.
Back
Oh,
off.
Teabag's put himself out.
Oh yeah. You should also know I called the FBI.
That's quite good, really, because, well, to be honest, Michael can release that information. The kid knows his mum's alive now and not dead.
Okay, they're in the building. There's no more time. The hard drives, or we'll start shooting your pieces.
Hand over the damn boys!
Worth dying for. This is my fight.
This is our fight. We come too far to let this son of a bitch win.
This wasn't the plan. Don't do it.
Some sons of bitches just
Set up again. They've done this already in prison, haven't they? Yeah, they've done this in prison already.
David, stay with me. Stay with me, boy. Stay with me. Keep it calm, boy. Stay calm.
If he tries to play hero too, execute him.
I actually hope that Whip stays alive. Kill her. He'd probably be able to say he was trying to protect his son, to be honest.
Go easy, son.
It's actually kind of upsetting. Why does Seabag always have a shit ending? I kind of do feel sorry for him. And he could probably plead that he killed her because he was trying to self-defend him. You know, she had a weapon on him. And her bullets and her fingerprints would be all over the gun.
How we doing?
Oh.
In the next bay.
Michael's obviously got a plan, something set up.
We got him, Michael. We got our boy.
But now you've got no reason to give me what I want.
Federal agent!
Michael put that suit jacket on rapid. Oh, it's hit him in the back. It's kind of like set this up how it happened last time. Is he going to get the images and put them together?
Cabin. Camera. Taking my picture. You wanted me to take the gun from you back there. You're better than I thought. But no one will ever go for it.
The truth is whatever you tell people it is.
Too bad the feds will be here in 2 minutes, see your little diorama here, and know it's all bull.
Except none of this will be here.
Oh, that's actually really clever. The thing is, technically, to these people coming in now, right, is he not still a CIA agent? They don't know he's gone rogue. That's literally what I was thinking. Before, obviously, 7 minutes left, it all gets revealed. I was literally thinking, right, as far as his government's concerned, if Michael doesn't release this information on the hard drive, is he not just a CIA agent fully employed by them doing his normal active job? Do you know what I mean? And as far as they're concerned, Michael is this crazy terrorist person that's wanted all over the world. You know what I mean? Like, so... I mean, Michael would be able to be arrested and then say, yo, Michael Schofield, I'm not even this person. I have no idea who's put that on the system, but, you know, check my DNA records. He's been incarcerated before. They'd be able to prove that he is actually who he says he is, not this international terrorist. But in terms of how I was saying in season 4 with Don Self, yeah, he did frame his own death, basically, and he called it in. But I was saying that... Do you remember when that agent found him and he had a fight with him and he obviously killed him when he was in the hotel? I was like, look, mate, he probably would get away with his lie considering that only one person, the senator, actually knows that that operation was undergoing. You know, his superior was killed and he could actually say that he was deep in to try and catch these, to try and catch the killers and stuff like that. And he probably would get away with it because not really anybody really knew about it. Especially if the senator was gone, he would get away with it. And here again, if Michael doesn't release that hard drive, then what bad information have they got for this guy, you know, the CIA agent? Now, again, Michael has to piece all of this together. He has to piece the pictures. He has to put it all and say that he's the one that killed his actual CIA superior. But then, how does that eliminate the images of Michael dragging the body away? Because it would kind of say that they was both in on it together. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one. 7 minutes left. Let's see how it finishes.
Thank God you guys got here when you did. That's all I can say. I mean, he would have... I'd be dead right now. Look, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to go home, clean myself up a bit. As you can imagine, it's been a long day.
See what I mean? So far, so good for him.
Anton Ness, you're under arrest for participation in the murder of Harlan Gaines.
If you're talking about that nonsense...
We're talking about blood evidence found in your office. An office only you have access to.
And blood will finally be spilled.
Where has he put that, though? That's whose blood it was. Michael, when he was moving the body, he acquired some of the blood as backup.
Frames from the night of the killing. Yes, I was there. I've never denied it. They forced me to. So the blood evidence found in your belongings was because he tasked you with disposing of the body. And with the revelation of the additional blood evidence found in his office, it neatly supports your theory, doesn't it? I'm director of the CIA.
I'm aware of that. That's why I sent you the email with the evidence directly. Poseidon killed your deputy director. He was a cancer inside your agency for years.
Andrew Nelson in custody. Thanks to your brother. Once we saw your email, we interrogated him. He's fully disclosed 21 Void's conspiracy to frame you for the murder of Harlan Gaines. It means you're free to go, Mr. Schofield.
Yeah, obviously the guy. See, when you recruit people, you need people that's not going to spill when they get under pressure. Look at Gretchen when she was getting waterboarded. He stuck by it all, literally.
The level of ingenuity that you displayed with all of this, you could use a person like that.
Yeah, do you want to work for us?
I am not looking for a job. There is one thing you can do for me.
Free teabag. He was there, he was helping.
It's strange. It's being alive again.
You out of him.
Why'd you call her? Because I knew you wouldn't.
It's really strange. Things actually working out.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, like, it just sounds weird saying it, innit? Like, but I always say it. People don't tell their families enough, and everybody does mean it. Again, look, he's in it. I hope they get him out, man. I was just moaning that he's in there. He was trying to help them as well. Jacob.
Right.
Maybe gets a cellmate of Teabag. Do you reckon the insinuation is that he's killed him? Do you know what I mean? Do you reckon that's the insinuation that Teabag's actually killing him? We've requested him to be in a certain cell. Now, again, though, I think it said it multiple times before in the show, but, like, killing people sometimes is too easy. You know what I mean? Death is easy on them. What you need to do is make them suffer. You know, Teabag was kind of saying this when he was potentially going to rape Sarah for the, well, not for the general, but do you know what I mean? When he had them, when he was in the apartment, when he had her tied to the door. He was basically saying, look, mate, if I killed you, it'd just be one swift, clean action. But if I do this act, you know, every time that Michael sees you, he's going to suffer. He's going to know that I've done something. It's always going to be torture for the rest of his life. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes a small little action can be a lifetime of pain. And it's like, death can be too easy on people. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at it here, if they're cellmates, he could get him to be his hold the pocket person. He could beat him up every day. He could assault him. He could do whatever. He could make his life a hell, instead of doing a quick action and killing him. You know what I mean? I don't know which one I would rather. Like, if somebody killed one of my family members, yeah, and I had a chance to either kill them or put them inside and let them suffer daily, that would be a tough one to choose, honestly. It really would be. Because, you know, at the end of the day, like I was just saying, death can be too quick. No pain, no suffering. It's just literally just gone. If someone shot me now, I wouldn't even know it. I'm just dead. You know what I mean? Or if somebody stabbed me or something, I'd be in a couple of minutes of pain and then it's gone. Where if every single day I woke up and someone was beating me down, kicking me, hurting me, do you know what I mean? So, putting me through hell pretty much, just rinse and repeat, I want to die. You know what I'm saying? So, be interesting, but I kind of want to, like, it fits Teabag thing and all this stuff, but I kind of feel sorry for him, to be honest, you know. Last season, he had the chance to be saved by them, and, you know, they give him a stick of gum, really, and put him back inside. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't actually get him out. They basically said that, you know, everybody else can be pardoned, but not him. He chose to side with the general. So, you know what, as far as we're concerned, he can rot in hell. Basically, that's what they were saying. And he didn't get his freedom. Even though, on the main, he did kind of play a decent part throughout the season. But then if you look at it in this one, let's just talk about this season solely. You know, he's actually helped Michael. And I feel sorry for him that he's found out that he's got a kid. You know what I mean? They've reunited. Whip's helped him. He's found out he's got a dad as well. He's always thought he's like an orphan. And then they get all the way to the end and then they get killed. You know what I mean? He's gone in and he's killed it. Well, that woman's gone in and killed Whip, yeah? Now, Whip and Teabag was both trying to help Michael in that situation. None of them was trying to take advantage. None of them was trying to run away. They was both trying to help. He's obviously been hit accidentally. He's died and bled out. Now, obviously, Teabag's reacted. He's hit her against the wall and snapped her neck. Now, I would have thought that he could have pleaded self-defense on that, especially if they learned that this Jacob was actually who he said he was and the position and people that he had around him. You know, it would fit a narrative that, like, you would have been under some sort of, I don't know, like, possession. You know, you would have been kidnapped yourself. And I just kind of feel sorry for him that he's done that. He saved his son, but then he's lost his son. And now he's actually been locked up and finished again. You know what I mean? But fair play to him. do you know what? It wasn't as good as seasons 1 to 4, possibly, but it was still good. You know what I mean? It was still decent. There's been shows before that I've watched and I thought, you know what, like, why is this season even here? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not really a great one, like, but I like this one. And, you know, I've come from 4 to 5 instantly. If I'd waited, like, 10 years or whatever it was, I probably still would be happy with it because of the nostalgia of bringing in the old characters, seeing them work again. It kind of felt like it was Prison Break, do you know what I mean? Like, that thing never actually went away. But then I can see the flip side as well, that, you know, you waited so long, you expected something so good. But I don't know. To me, I thought it was a good season. I did enjoy it. And, you know, I don't actually mind how it ended. It's open, you know what I mean? It seems happy, which is good. Last time, it's kind of like happy, sad. This time, it seems like they've got the freedom, they've got the family, they've got the life. So if they was to ever do another one, be interesting to see what story they actually choose. Okay, that is going to wrap up the final ever episode of Prison Break. Madness. I can't believe we flew through this show. Very good, really enjoyed it. You know, the ones that everybody's been recommending, it's been really good. You know what I mean? The last few, what was it now that we've done? We've done this one, then we've done Lost before that, we've done the 100. Great shows, honestly. Probably shows that I've never really considered watching. Probably would have, considering a lot of people, you know, talk about it and stuff like that. My sister really likes this show. She's always told me to actually watch it, but never actually got around to it. But you guys voted for it, and we sat here and done it, and it's great. And it's Lost as well, you know what I mean? I've always thought about the concept of them, you know, being deserted on an island and trying to get back was fascinating. And but I just never got around to it. You know, I'm always one of them people, like, I always want to do something and never actually do it. But, you know, whilst doing this, and if you guys choose, I obviously select and go for it as well. You get to watch and see different characters and stuff that you never really would have done before. And I'm really excited to obviously see the next show that's on the channel. But with this one, we've got to say it's been another good one. You know what I mean? Definitely up there with one of the better ones that we've watched on here. But again, very entertaining. 5 good seasons, you know, ranking them, very interesting. You know what I mean? Really enjoyed the first season. I always feel like, you know, when I do my votes for the seasons of the shows, I always think that season 1 should always get, I don't know, the main recognition. It's not always the best. It's not always the best. But, like, how many shows have you sat down and tried to watch and season 1's pretty crap, and then you're like, you know, he's not really give the next season a go or whatnot. Like, it's the first season that gets you to fall in love with it. Do you know what I mean? And they're the characters that you remember the most because, like, you're so invested in it that's what got you here to the next, and got us all the way to this one. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I got to always say fair play to the first seasons. They're always OGs, you know what I mean? And they're the ones that give us the love for the show that obviously we sat here and do all of the episodes. Now, going through all of the seasons, it's been very good. You know, we had the first breakout, then we had the escape, you know, like on the run, trying to keep their heads down. Then we've obviously moved over into Sona, which was another decent one, very interesting. Moving on to the company, taking them down to this one. Michael being obviously put into a prison in Yemen, different location. Each season provided us with different kind of objective. Well, the objectives, characters, you know what I mean, motivations. We had new characters introduced in and out as well, and I like the fact that the locations changed. I always feel as well, though, that, like, the original locations are always nice to go back to. So, for example, you know, I know that obviously we just watched Prison Break, but, like, when we was watching Lost and they went onto the island at first, and we got used to the season 1 on the beach, and then obviously we venture into the islands. When they always go back to the beach, I'm always like, oh, that feels like Lost. You know what I mean? It's like the 100 when we watched it. They come down from space and they hit the Earth. And then obviously if you looked at it, they went into the bunker, they moved around. And then when they go back into the Earth, you're like, oh, it just feels like... Do you know what I mean? This feels like the show that we loved. And I always wish that we had more internal prison kind of... you know, like, kind of scenes and stuff. Like Fox River, it's always kind of mentioned, but we never really kind of got anything past season 1. And I always enjoyed the inside stuff, but you can't always be inside the prison. But, like, this season, it was only 9 episodes, so we could only do it a little bit. I really enjoyed it when he was in Sona again, but then that was a season that happened during, I believe, the writer's strike, and that was cut short. It was only 13 episodes, so Like, we had a really long season 1, very good inside a prison, really enjoyed it. Then we had a 13 episode season when we was inside another prison, which I thought was really good, but obviously it was shorter than all of the others. And then obviously we got this one here where we had like 5 episodes. I always feel like what brought me into the show I enjoyed very much was being in a prison and escaping, and I always feel like they were the better seasons, like, in it. And I've always enjoyed that, and I really wish that we could do that more. But on the flip side, I enjoyed them being out and trying to break in. I actually thought that going after Scylla in season 4 was very good. You know, I just liked the team that was kind of built around. You know, we had Bellic, which sadly obviously passed away, but I thought Mahomes, great, fantastic addition into the show, with obviously Michael and Sucre and Lincoln all rocking together. And to be honest, I think that Gretchen was a good addition to the show as well. Good female character coming in. To be honest, I'll probably say I like Gretchen over Sarah. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to pick one of them, I think that Gretchen was a much better character. She brought more entertainment out the show, personally, in my opinion. And I also think, like, you know, T-Bag's been consistently good all the way around, with the addition of the twist of Michael's mum being alive, Lincoln obviously not being true blood brothers. We had the card holders, you know what I mean, 6 of them. I just thought, I don't know, season 4 was really good, and I just thought the way they ended the show, with it kind of going full circle from Lincoln in season 1, which is a fantastic season, to the General in season 4, was just kind of perfect. You know what I mean? It was just great. Now, season 5, obviously, you know, you got to add that into it now, and fair play to them for obviously trying to make the show go further again. You know, how many times have you seen shows kind of reboot and be proper crap? I actually don't think this season was proper crap. It might not have been what everybody kind of expected, but I didn't mind it at all, and I am happy that I watched it. You know what I mean? I said I've seen many seasons before where you're like, didn't really need to see that, it wasn't very good, but this one, I actually would be happy to watch a season 6. You know, I don't think they actually done that bad. Kept to the roots, you know what I mean? We had it, you know, Lincoln throwing slugs all the way, you know what I mean? Always consistently fighting. I like seeing Michael's son as well. Didn't really, only negative part I would say is that we didn't actually see him spend much time with his son, considering that he's done all this for his family. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, at the end there, we seen him in the garden, he was chilling and Sheba was there, but like, I would have liked to see a couple of moments with Michael embracing, hugging, kissing him, telling him how much he loves him, saying how much he misses him and all of this stuff. But the insinuation was obviously there. And again, it was a good twist with obviously Sarah's husband. And I also, a little bit negative would be that Sucre and, well, Cena was in it all right, to be honest. But, like, considering he wasn't in the later seasons, like 3 and 4. But I wish that Sucre and Cena was in it pretty much all of the season, just because we had short episodes. I feel like just getting them all in there just give me the good vibes, knowing that everybody was back and the band was back together. Do you know what I mean? But altogether, fantastic show, really enjoyed it. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for the recommendations. Thanks for voting for the most liked to dislike characters of the season, as well as voting for the most liked seasons of the show and the most liked characters of the show. I also appreciate every single person that's been voting for the next show on the channel. Without you guys, wouldn't have the ability to do any of this, so you guys are absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for another amazing show recommended on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you in the next series on the channel. Cheers, guys.